Hey, it's time to crank up the truth. I'm Val Selby, and over the decades of working online, I've learned a most important lesson. Mindset owns your business. If procrastination, imposter syndrome, and a lack of focus have been blocking your biz, then I'm here with Val Full Volume, ready to help you see choices that you're making. Get ready to own your personality and use your expertise to create the business of your dreams. Now is the time to make changes and live your best life. So let's get to it. Hello and happy fall. We're a couple of weeks in now, so which totally leads me into what I'm going to talk about today. What are you focused on? We were talking in the mastermind today, and I brought up some things that I'm really noticing. Lots of self-work going on. Is that different from any other time, though? I think it's just like super ongoing now. It's just like a roller coaster of, okay, we're going to learn. Oh man, we're learning. Okay, let's just ride the learning for a little bit, right? But what are you focused on? And I brought that up because yesterday I was doing a road trip and I was listening, and this is for my weight loss mindset stuff. And I was listening to the videos, and it just brought up, because it was talking about a morning routine. And immediately as soon as morning routine came up, I'm just like, cringe. I hate mornings, right? And I'm just like, but do I really hate mornings? And I just kind of left it at that because I really wanted to listen to everything else that was going on. I didn't want to deep dive into, exactly mornings and all of that. But now, today, I'm like really paying attention to all of these things that I've told myself or said so many times. I don't know if I've told myself or what, but things that I have said for so long. And okay, then why haven't I made changes? So I'm catching myself for one thing, and it does correlate. I'm catching myself in the last few days of paying attention more to what I'm not getting done, which for me means I will get less done, right? Because I'm focused on that versus, just Monday, for God's sakes, Monday, I was super productive. I got a ton of stuff done. I honestly got a majority of the things that needed to get done this week done on Monday. Crazy productive. And then life got in the way, and I had to do this and this and this, and had less time. So while I was feeling super ahead, now here I am on Thursday, not working tomorrow, feeling like, oh my God, what happened? And so I'm really paying attention to that, because what did happen? I have complete control over everything. I made choices. I'm owning the choices. But why am I getting focused on the stuff that hasn't gotten done again? Why am I not taking a look at my list and going, oh my gosh, you've done all of that? And for a lot of people, that would have been their week. So celebrate the fact that I still got all of that stuff done. And thankfully, let's celebrate that thankfully I did get that much done because of how much time away from the computer I spent the last 2 days. And today, that's leaving me going, So I'm going to, after I get done with the podcast, I'm going to rewrite my list and prioritize what has to get done. Since I'm not working tomorrow, what cannot wait until Monday, or it'll drive me bonkers, because I'm going away for the weekend with my mom, and I don't want it weighing on me that I should open my computer while we're away, which I will be. I will be. It's we're going to a conference thing, so it's not a oh my gosh vacation thing. I'm not working, but I want to work on fun stuff. I don't want to work on this stuff because I have to. Or if we end up, going out with some of our friends that are there, I want to be able to be just like, oh, that's fine. I can go and do that, because none of this stuff has to get done before Monday. That's going to be my first thing, is just reprioritizing the list for the last couple of hours that I'll be working tonight. after recording. And that will help me a lot because right now I still have that one list with all of the stuff I crossed off, but it's still weighing on me because it's still got a lot of stuff on it, right? Even though the stuff's crossed off, it's still got a lot of stuff on it. So I just know that for my brain, I have to trick it and just get super specific and write the list even smaller. And as soon as my smaller list happens, then of course, what do I do? What do you do when you see a smaller list? You're like, oh shit, I can do that, right? No big deal. And I know that the only thing I need to focus on is what's on that list. And the other stuff that I'm not going to get done this week will go on next week's list. No big deal. It just didn't need to get done today or this week. So on that thread of focusing on the negative stuff, and it really came up with the mornings, right? So that's what really popped it up. And I hate mornings. I have hated mornings since I can remember mornings. Since sometime puberty wise, I've been a sleeper most of my life. Now I'm angry about mornings because I don't seem to be a sleeper anymore. And that aggravates me. And the dog's waking me up in the morning. See, this is why this right here, what I'm talking about, the things that are popping out of my mouth about why I don't like mornings. These are what leads me to say I don't like mornings. Well, for my mastermind members, I was totally using the example because I was processing the fact of, okay, well, if you hate mornings, you don't hate mornings, right? What is it that I do hate? What is it that's driving me crazy about mornings? And why have I not liked them? So it can easily look back to the fact that mornings were chaos for how many decades? You're raising the kids, you're trying to get them out the door, you're working outside of the home often. It's chaos in the morning. There's barely time to get coffee, right? You're like slamming coffee, kids get in the car, here's your lunches. It was crazy for so many years. And then working my business, and especially any of you guys that are working a job and your business and you got family, you can totally relate to this. I would stay up late for two reasons. I would stay up late and work. And I would also stay up late because that was my only time to myself, my only quiet time. I crave quiet time. I love my quiet time. So by staying up late, then having to get up to absolute chaos, I was freaking tired all the time, right? Because I was never getting enough sleep. I'm sure it wasn't good sleep either. I know I had horrible sleep habits. I actually worked with a doctor about it for a while. And it was because of all of this. I was creating my own issues and my own hate of mornings. So as I was looking at it today during the meeting, I'm like, okay, those were all of the things that I hated about mornings. The chaos, the constant running, the not being able to just like have a cup of coffee and chill, the go, 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 go. And even in the last few years, mornings have still been a lot, even though the kids are grown, because I was the caregiver for my old dog. And so mornings meant, oh my gosh, okay, what will she eat today? So I can get her meds into her. And all right, she didn't eat. So now I've got to try again in 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And then I've got to get her lunch. I was feeding her multiple times a day. So it was just waking up to that stress and not knowing if she was going to be awake in the morning either, honestly, towards the end. And so mornings are just, my shoulders just, it's just ick. And I don't have that. So I can pay attention and I can take control. Okay, so these were the things that I didn't like about my mornings. So how will I change it so that mornings are all right? How will I change it so that the start of my day is going to be better and more productive? Now, I know quite a few people that mornings are the jam, right? I've grown up with a really good friend and she was that way. She would call on Saturday mornings at like 6:30 in the morning. We lived in different cities and my dad would be coming in to tell me that she's on the phone. And I'd just be throwing pillows at him and zero swearing at that house, throwing pillows at him and telling her to go away. Go tell her to go away. My dad's an early riser too. I'm like, you go talk to her. I just always loved my sleep. But 6:30 on a after sports all week and being super tired and staying up doing homework and all that at 6:30 on a Saturday morning. You feel me? Little ridiculous. I needed my sleep. So I'm looking at that stuff and going, okay, none of that's happening anymore. Right now, I have complete control over what I want every single morning to look like. Does it have to look the same every morning? No, it does not. But what would I like it to be? And instead of focusing on this blanket statement of I hate mornings, I'm going to focus on, okay, well, I'm going to pour my cup of coffee or get my caffeinated beverage of my choosing for the morning. And I'm going to sit down and I'm going to fill out my daily plan for my weight loss stuff. I'm going to sit and I'm going to journal and I'm going to be on top of that. That feels good for me for our morning routine. I know a lot of business coaches are like, don't check your emails first thing. You know what? If you want to check emails first thing in the morning, please do. I know for me, if I don't check my emails first thing, now granted, I don't feel like I have to get inbox 0 by any means, but I do want to go through a scroll of my emails first thing and see if there's any clients that need me. Because I do have some clients that prefer to email instead of using Voxer. And I don't want to miss those messages from them. So if I'm constantly thinking about that until later on in the day of, well, geez, what if somebody's in there? That just pulls just a little bit of my brain away from whatever I'm doing. And I've tried multiple times because I've heard it's better. Instantly go work on your stuff kind of thing. That's like, you know what? That is fine for some people, obviously. It didn't work for me. And I'm tired of trying to make other people's stuff work for me. I did that and I know I still fall in the trap, but I did that for so many years. I was constantly looking for the outside thing, person, system, platform for me to be successful because that was definitely the answer, right? So I'm going to lean into the mornings. I'm going to be testing out some new things. I'm even thinking, do I even want to find a meditation or mind quiet? I like to call them mind quiets because then I don't have a shutdown. When I hear meditation, my brain goes, we're not doing that. It's ridiculous. I don't even analyze that. But when I figured out what meditation is and it's just the mind quiet, all of a sudden my brain's like, oh, we can do that. Or we can attempt that. That's all right. Can do that. So I'm going to add that back in because that was a habit that I did for a little while and I did like it. But just more quiet in the morning and not being caught up into, I have to get going immediately. My husband's one of those. He's up and go. Up and go. We're so opposites in some ways. He gets up immediately and he wants to make breakfast. And me, I'm just like, oh my God, we've been together for 32 years. No, I don't want breakfast. Just give me. I'm just going to have my coffee. I'm going to sit here and shh, right? Let's just shh for a little bit. If you want breakfast, please feel free and I will make my breakfast later. That's what I'm having to work on for me. I don't have to eat breakfast with them, right? So I'm going to be working. I'm creating the new plan. I'm doing it slowly. Today was day 1, back at it with my journal and filling out the pages. And so catch me for day 2. Check in with me and see if I'm doing it still. See what I've changed. No, you won't have to because I'm going to be reworking my mornings, figuring out things that have worked for me, haven't worked for me, work for other people's. And then, I don't know, we might see a challenge coming up to see what works for you and will make you start your day off better because it's all about you. Doesn't matter what's working for me. It matters what's working for you in your house and your business. Another thing I'm paying attention to is like I said, I'm getting focused on what's not getting done. I'm also getting caught up in my brain of things I don't like. Now, this also is a good thing because it's things that I'm going to end up cutting out of my life, right? But like, we're just a couple of weeks into fall. I don't like fall. I've never liked fall. Fall is when all of the pretty flowers and everything die. And that's been my only focus is that. It's when the gray and the ick comes in. It's when we're trapped in the house. And hear me going through all of the shit I don't like about fall. I'm like, really? Because I just, on the 22nd, I changed out all of the scents in the house. And I'm like, we call that scent change day in this house. Well, I call it scent change day. I changed over to fall scents in all of my warmers and the candles and all of that. I put up the wreath, and I started looking at it. And I'm like, really? You don't hate fall. You dislike this and this and this. I'm like, how about if I pay attention to the things I do like the fall colors are actually really good for my decorating. It is my colors for decorating this house. I'm like, how about we lean into that, lady? How about we focus on that stuff? How about we focus on the fact that pretty soon I'm not going to have to weed because the weeds aren't going to grow. That'll make me happy. Instead of focusing on there's nothing I can do about the fact that all of the flowers are going to die. It's just going to happen. I can go buy bouquets and bring them in the house. I'm going to go get some indoor plants and go that route, and we'll see. We'll see if my husband can keep them alive for me and my black thumbs. But it also moves into my business stuff, right? And that's what I started really paying attention to because I was like, okay, it's fall. I have these icky feelings about fall. I have for so long, and I'm like dissecting that. I'm like, mornings, dissecting that. And I'm like, okay, so what else am I bitching about? Even in my own head, bitching about nonstop. And social media is like one of the major ones. Why am I still doing it? I'm processing that. Why am I still doing it? Why am I complaining about, there's barely any Facebook reach. If I had my own groups elsewhere, I'd have more control over people seeing stuff. My Instagram account, the only thing I do on Instagram now that it's all videos, which by the way, you got that memo, right? That Instagram, unless it's a video, it's not going to get any traction whatsoever. They came out with that a couple of months ago and told us. But anytime anything's coming up for my Instagram, which granted, I'm not really working it anymore, it's just these skeezy fake accounts with, guys' faces on them. So I'm like, why am I here? I open my Instagram account and all I'm doing is blocking these sleazy fake accounts. I'm like, why am I here? Why am I doing this to myself? So I am looking at all of that stuff because I'm like, I do have friends that are not on social media for their businesses, and it's okay. It doesn't hurt their business. So I'm looking at it going, do we really need this? I don't know. I'm not feeling it. What if I didn't do it? What if I focused on things that I like doing instead of, I don't like Instagram. I don't like Facebook, what they're doing anymore. What if instead of spending the time complaining about it, what if I just ignored it and put that energy into something else? Novel idea, right? And just the thoughts of it, just the super simple thoughts of it, it's enough to take me away to, well, I should create some content. Oh my God, I haven't created any content. And that could be 30 minutes wrapped up into trying to get back into whatever I'm doing. So I'm going to pay attention to that. No, I'm not shutting my accounts down as of right now. But I'm just really paying attention. Is that where I want to spend my time? Is that what I want to focus on? Do I want to focus on something that I have such a negative idea with? A negative, and a loss for the word. Negative, that I feel negatively about? It must be time to be getting done. Actually, it sounds like the dogs are telling me it's time to get done. So I'm really looking at what I'm focused on. What am I focused on? And is it going to bring me what I want? Is paying attention to the fact that I don't like mornings, that I am really not feeling the social media. Is that going to help improve my business or improve my day? No. But what if I shit or got off the pot and decided, okay, you know what? I'm just not going to do, maybe I'm not going to do social media for 6 months and see what happens. See what happens. It's not like you can't just come back. You can totally come back at any time. What would that look like? What if I set a deadline for just even 3 months and said, yeah, I'm just not going to do it. What else could I focus on instead? Be creating my own community work best so that my members are all over elsewhere. Would that work best? I don't know. And you know why I don't know? Because I haven't tried it. I haven't given it a try. But I've spent quite a bit of time complaining about the other stuff. So maybe it's time to give some stuff a try and make some different choices. So what are you catching yourself focusing on? What are you catching yourself saying? And how can you change it? What are things maybe that you've said forever, for, decades? And if you think on it, maybe they're not even true anymore. I hate mornings. I've said it for so long that it just pops out of my face. And all of a sudden I'm just like, well, but I don't hate mornings. And I right now have no reason to hate mornings unless I've stacked my own schedule and slept in and I'm making myself run around. That's not hating the mornings. That's just being down on myself because I did it to myself, right? So pay attention to what you are saying. It might be just flowing out of your face as habit because you've said it, like I said, for so long. And how can you change it? And definitely, what are you focused on? Are you focused on everything that's not getting done on your list? Rewrite your list. Only put the stuff that's going to get done on that list. As we talk about that in the Get Biz Done Challenge. I haven't done one in a while, but yeah, we do that in the Get Biz Done Challenge. 3 things. That's what your focus is each day. What are the 3 things that you're going to get done for sure? And if you're in a coaching call or you're coaching a client or anything like that, that's one of the 3 things. Because that's going to be a must do, right? And then the other stuff goes on the appropriate days for when it's going to get done. So rewrite your list if you're focused on all the stuff that's not getting done, and take a look at how you're talking about stuff. How we're talking about stuff sets the entire tone. If we focus on the stuff that we don't like, we're going to get more of the stuff that we don't like because we're telling the universe, oh, hey, throw it at them. That's what they want. As my friend Lady Raven says over at Abundability, the universe does not understand not or dislike or any of that. If you're talking about, not liking mornings, then it's going to throw more of that at you. If you're talking about, well, I don't want this to happen anymore, it doesn't hear the don't. It just hears happen. Whatever you don't want to happen, it just hears the happen. And it brings you more. And it does. It does. I've witnessed it. All right. Check in with me. I'd love to hear what you're focusing on or what you're seeing that you're focused on. And what do you want to be focused on instead? Do you want to revamp your mornings? Or do you like them the way they are? Or you are a morning person and we can't talk? No, let me know. Maybe I can learn something from you so that I learn to enjoy my mornings more, which I will be. I will be for sure. I just, it's time for me to get better habits first thing in the morning. Habits that I want. Habits that I set. All right. Glad you're here. Thank you so much for listening. And I appreciate you, lady. Chat at you later. Thanks for listening to Val Full Volume. If you are done spinning in circles and procrastinating, check out my quick workshop, 14 Biz Actions. Action creates change. Now go out there and create the biz of your dreams.